Yo, welcome back guys, and I've got some pretty interesting material for you guys. So, as you guys might know already, the Sasuke Retsuden Manga has dropped. So, it's an adaptation of this novel that's recently been translated to English actually. And it's a very popular novel. So Sasuke Retsuden, the Uchiha Descendants and the Heavenly Stardust is the title of this novel. And it made a lot of sales actually, so it was obviously eventually going to be adapted, and they've been saying it for a while. The original novel is written by Jun Isaka and illustrated by Matashi Kishimoto. However, the actual manga that's come out recently is drawn by Shingo Kimura, and his art style is very reminiscent of OG Shippuden-esque Kishimoto's art. So from my understanding, it's a monthly thing. We're gonna get a chapter a month like you would with a manga usually. And if you guys are kind of getting bored of Boruto, maybe you don't like the art style, I definitely think you'll like this. It actually does feel like Naruto, and I think it's technically listed as Naruto material rather than Boruto material, even though it's taking place during the Boruto era. It's gonna be a really cool story. It's gonna be about saving Naruto, fighting dinosaurs, stopping meteorites. I'm just gonna be reviewing the first chapter, or at least going through it. And just to give you guys some context to what it's about, because it takes place after another novel, so people have just started reading this spin-off for Sasuke, might be a little bit confused what's going on. And basically what's happened right before this manga takes place is that Naruto has come down with this illness. He's unable to use his chakra, and that's because he's come down with this disease that the Sage of Six Paths had almost a millennia ago now. And usually if you're the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails, you get this. So it's because Naruto's body is a vessel for all these tailed beasts. His body struggles to control this power sometimes. And so basically this illness means Naruto can't use any of these forms. He can't even use Sage Mode. He can't use Six Paths. Nothing. In fact, he can't even use basic ninjutsu. He can't use his chakra at all, and if he tries to use it, you can see he's visibly in pain. He can't breathe, he collapses to the floor, he grabs his chest, coughing up blood, that kind of thing. So getting into the first chapter, the first thing we see is Sasuke leaving, and that's because he's leaving to a land called Radaku. And Radaku is this hidden land beyond the Five Nations, where the Sage of Six Paths resided for a while he was ill, and apparently it was there where he was able to recover from this illness he had. And with the intel that Sasuke's gained to find out why Naruto is ill and how they can cure him, and this land is high in the mountains, beyond the borders of the land of Radaku technically. They're actually specifically going to this astronomy research institute, which was founded by Takeru Janmaru, who was a contemporary of the Sage of Six Paths. And apparently this was a haven for research centuries ago, but nowadays the institute is now used as a prison for the criminals of Radaku. And there's kind of like this mini society within the prison walls, and all the prisoners there are made to do this labor regardless of their age or their health. And that's because the gods there don't really care about them. They're very cruel and they don't really care about their well-being. Even the food they serve there isn't that great for them. So this chapter really just begins off with Sasuke arriving within the land and asking people about the Sage of Six Paths, and a lot of people haven't really heard of him. He even talks to this old lady who doesn't even know who the Sage of Six Paths is, interestingly enough. It almost feels like the people of this land are kind of disconnected to the rest of the world, and this is true according to this other man that he talks to. And this kind of just expands upon the world of Naruto, letting us know that there's so much more other than the five great nations. And so as Sasuke continues his journey, he realizes that somebody's following him, and he kind of reverses it on them, so he jumps them, questioning them about why he's being followed. And this girl kind of reveals to him that she heard him ask about the Sage of Six Paths. She doesn't really know much about the Sage of Six Paths, but she thinks her mother knows about the Sage of Six Paths, and so she introduces herself as Lala. And that's when Sasuke also runs into, funnily enough, the girl's mother. And she rushes over to them, letting them know that three men stole from her because she owns this shop. I think it's this antique shop. And then obviously Sasuke, like the Samaritan he is, decides to help her out. He basically uses the Rinnegan to swap places with the antique that they stole. He knocks two of them out, uses his Sharingan to incapacitate them, and then uses the Rinnegan to genjutsu the final guy, who he thinks is holding somebody hostage, but it turns out he's actually holding a watermelon. I like his very cool use of Sasuke's powers that we haven't really seen that much within Boruto. And I've got to say that I'd really like this art style and prefer it over Ikimoto's Boruto style. I know I might get some hate for that, but I think the vast majority of people would agree with me. I mean, some of you like his art style, it's whatever, I'm just not really a fan of it. But anyway, back to this story. Sasuke gets this woman's antiques bag, and she kind of searches through the bag to find this ring. A ring that's very important to her and her family, apparently. She asks for Sasuke's name. He obviously replies Sasuke Uchiha. And then the older woman, who is the mother of Lila, says she's Kale. And then funnily enough, she thinks that Sasuke might actually be her daughter's boyfriend and proposing to her. Obviously, Sasuke lets her know that's not the case. He basically shuts this woman down, embarrasses the girl, saying that he's already got a wife and a daughter. And if anything, Sasuke sees the older woman more like Sakura and the younger girl like his own daughter. So obviously this was a bit awkward. But anyway, this is when we get a cutscene back to Naruto and what he's doing in the Hidden Leaf Village. And we see that he's being assisted by Shikamaru. Shikamaru's just realized that Naruto's lost his balance. There's something wrong with him. He's holding his chest. His heart is throbbing. And then Shikamaru tries to help Naruto out. Naruto can't even stand properly. And this is when Shikamaru says another one of his spasms, meaning that Naruto's been ill for a while now. I'm just gonna assume it's been like a few weeks or something. It could have possibly been longer. I just don't know. His condition has probably worsened. Naruto's saying that they're happening more frequently now. And then Shikamaru is just hoping that they can get all the info. And he puts all of his faith into Kakashi and Sasuke, hoping they'll find what they need in the land of Radaku. And I should probably mention that Kakashi is doing his bit for Naruto as well. And he's actually got his own novel, Kakashi Retsuden. Obviously, I would let you know what it's about, but it's kind of long, so I'll save that for another video. Cutting back to Sasuke now. Sasuke lets a woman know that his friend Naruto is ill, and that he's got the same illness as the Sage of Six Paths. However, the Sage of Six Paths wrote that he found a cure to this disease during his time in Radaku, and he's just asking the woman if she knows anything about that. And she does say, wait a moment. She doesn't know too much about cures or diseases, but she does find a book called The Book of Yore, which apparently a lot of folks in the area aren't really familiar with, and it's about the history of the area. She kind of goes through it, and she says it's strange. She could have sworn that there was a bit about the Sage of Six Paths staying at the Tatar Observatory. And Sasuke kind of recalls that earlier on he saw these people who were talking about the observatory. They were apparently these prisoners who had escaped from the Tatar Observatory. And then that's when he realizes that this observatory is a prison. And he asks the woman, how does he reach there? And then we kind of cut to the people that Sasuke had caught in this prison. The guy there says it's been 2 weeks of this crap. And he's obviously doing this manual labor from pretty much sun up to sundown. So he's been doing it all day. And he doesn't know how much of this he can take. And apparently he's meant to be staying there the entire year. And he thinks he's reached his limit. And so he plans to break out. But before he breaks out, he hears news of this fresh meat. And we all know who he's referring to. At least it should be pretty obvious at this point. And this piques his curiosity. Another guy, his friend, who he's already told that he's gonna break out, says that Lady Luck is on their side after all. And so as they look up, they see Sasuke, of course. And so they probably see Sasuke as the best opportunity to escape, realizing that he's got all of these really overpowered abilities, etc. They throw this fork at him. Sasuke obviously easily dodges it because he's like superhuman compared to these guys. And it hits the guy behind Sasuke. And so the guy behind Sasuke thinks that Sasuke did it because he's obviously right next to him. But this is when Sasuke uses some crazy martial arts to knock him out easily. And the guys obviously who threw it are like really annoyed at Sasuke because obviously Sasuke put them in prison in the first place. And then obviously the prison guards break all this fighting up. It seems like Sasuke's pretty much knocked everybody out easily. Obviously Sasuke wants to be in this prison. He's infiltrating it. The guard tells him to stop and says, is this your doing? And he tells Sasuke to head for solitary confinement right now. However, the director, this guy called Zanul, grabs a guard on the shoulder and says, let's not be so hasty. On what he observed, apparently Sasuke didn't attack them first, so it was self-defense. And so he lets Sasuke off, realizing that he's new. Obviously, the prison guard doesn't like all this good treatment that the director is giving to Sasuke. They transport all of the people who got injured to medical. And this weird, creepy director dude tells Sasuke, don't think this means that he's free to do as he pleases. So it seems kind of like a threat. And then the guy Sasuke put in prison, who seems like a pretty relevant character here, approaches Sasuke saying, hey man, you want to team up with me? Obviously Sasuke realizes he's that guy that he put in prison in the first place. And then he reveals his plan to Sasuke as well. He plans on escaping. And then he notes that Sasuke is a shinobi, right? The guy reveals that he can use chakra himself. And the place around them is surrounded by these very large walls. It'll technically be easy to climb for people who can use chakra like them. So he says, how about it? Does Sasuke want to escape with him? Obviously Sasuke says, I'm sorry, there's something he needs to do here. He's obviously looking for more information about the prison and the Sage of Six Paths. This kind of annoys the prisoner dude. He lets Sasuke know that the weather's perfect for escape, so he thinks they should probably do it now if they're gonna do it. And this is when Sasuke realizes that there's a lot of chatter going on. And that's when they all realize that this one guy who's trying to escape has now been attacked by a dinosaur. And there's literally blood everywhere. The dinosaur's kind of stomping all over his face. And then it's revealed to Sasuke there's a reason why every door in his prison is unlocked. Which sounds strange, like why would every door be unlocked? It's because it's impossible to escape. And that's when we see this dinosaur stare Sasuke right in the eye. And so yeah, you guys are probably confused. Why is there a dinosaur in this manga? And obviously there is a good reason for that, and you'll see how the story unfolds next chapter, but this kind of concludes the first chapter. Sasuke says he came to his place in search for information on the Sage of Six Paths, but now it seems that there's something weird going on in his observatory, and he hides this even darker truth. So yeah, I'll probably be covering this mini arc, or however long this arc is. It might even end up getting animated. Just to let you guys know, this is set after the Momoshiki fight, but before all of the Kara stuff. So that should give you guys a vague idea of how the timeline works, and when this arc is taking place. Like the videos, all of that subscribey, likey stuff, that really helps me out. Maybe I cover more Bleach. It does seem like there's a large popularity for Bleach within my community at least. I could do weekly reviews on the episodes if you want, kind of like how I did with Attack on Titan. Anyway, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time, peace.